Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today's Batman Beyond episode is Dead Man's Hand. So this episode is about the Royal Flush Gang. Um, it starts off they're robbing this yacht. For reference, who knows who don't know, there's like five members. It's the 10, Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. The King tends to be the boss of it all. Ace tends to be like the muscle of it, and so on and so forth. So they're robbing these bunch of rich people. Then Batman shows up, and the Queen's like, "All right, let's get the fuck out of here." And the King's like, "No, this is the reason why we're here." So they begin to fight, but the Queen, she's like, "Screw this!" So she blows up the boat, and she's like, "Hey, Batman, you can either fight the King or you can save the people. So why don't we work on that?" um, so they all escape, and uh, Bruce is telling Batman, "Hey, return to the Batcave. We got to talk about the Royal Flush Gang because we've met before, and you need a rundown." He's like, "Yeah, it's nice and all, but no, I've got a date." So he goes out to a club and he sees Dana dancing, and she's like super pissed at him because she's like, "Why would I expect you to be here? Because you never are. You're always late." And Terry's like is super apologetic. He's like, "Listen, I'm sorry, but I'm here now." And she's like, I don't care." Which I don't care about Dana. Like she has no character development whatsoever. Like her literal character is be Terry's girlfriend, be supportive, be hot. But now she's not even being supportive. So they get into a big fight, and Terry storms out. And this one girl who was on the outside of the club, she's looking. She's like, "Hey, I saw what was going on back there, big fight." And he's telling her, "Yeah." And the two get like close. She's saying how she's part of a family that like is always on the move and she can never really settle down. He's saying how his new job is taking too much time out of, and he's like losing relationships over it. And the two embrace in a kiss because she likes to move really, really fast because as her parents move all the time, she kind of has to. So they spend the night with each other, just roaming the city and whatnot. And she's like, "Hey, meet me back here tomorrow night at midnight." He's like, "All right, sounds like sounds like a date." So the next day, Bruce is like telling him about the family, and he's like, "Listen, they're this aristocratic family. They've been going around for generations. If one goes to jail, retires, another one takes their place. There's always five of them, so on and so forth." So it's basically telling him they always do, like I guess like club related crimes, card related crimes, something of that nature. So it's the next night, and another robbery is taking place. And before you learn all that, you find out that Melanie, the girl that met Terry outside the club, she's number 10, which it's like, oh shit, that puts a little crimp in everything. So they're trying to rob this one museum of a store, and she's in charge of taking care of security. Um, but she kind of fumbles it because her mind's elsewhere. So security guards are there, but they don't really hold much of a candle to the Royal Flush Gang. But then Batman shows up and he's kicking everybody's ass. And at one point, him and Ten, they're struggling. And another security guard comes along and they take him as hostage. And they're like, "Hey, Batman, you better quit following us and fighting us. Otherwise, the security guard's going to get it." So Batman does indeed follow them. And the King's like, "Hey, push that bro off the side," because they all have like these cards that are gliders, which is kind of neat. It's literally a giant ass cart that they can ride. So well, I mean they each have one. So the Jack, he pushes the guard off to make Batman come and save him, and during the fall, the guard breaks his leg. So Terry, being the kind guy that he is, he postpones the date so he can get the guy to the hospital. So when he finally gets to the clock tower where they agreed to meet, he's like an hour and 30 minutes late, and he is really pissed about it, and he's like just so upset that he can't find her. So he goes walking off, and then she comes along, and she's like, "Terry, wait!" And they like hug each other and kiss each other, and then they spend basically until sunrise together. So it's like, man, we've been with Dana for 8 episodes, and this girl has been with Terry for 8 minutes, and they already have way more chemistry. Like, all the shade to Dana. Like, also the writers, they just made her so boring. Like, she's just so boring. And, like, now you actually have somebody with chemistry for Terry, and it's just kind of heartbreaking because you're like, man, hey, one's good, one's evil. This probably won't end well. So it's the next day or the next morning, and Bruce is like, all right, I need you on patrol tonight, and he's like, listen, I don't need to be Batman every single night. I should have some fucking time for myself. It's not healthy. So he's getting on Bruce's case, how he's all alone, and how he's making Batman do this so he can be all alone just like him. He's basically just speaking out of anger at this point. So later in the evening, the king, 10 is like, I'm leaving the family just because of this boy I really like. This is not an environment I can really prosper with. And the queen's like, hey, listen. Shut the fuck up. Get back inside. We're gonna be rich. Be quiet. And she's like, damn. All right, you got me. So she gets back in the gang, and she calls Terry to be like, hey, listen, I can't see you anymore. It just, something came up. It's over. So Terry, he can hear like the emotional turmoil in her voice. So he traces the call back to the location where they're hiding, and he finds out, oh shit, this is the Royal Flush Gang. This is bad. And he sees them coming back from a crime. So he's hiding, and everybody like spreads out. He takes the mom out with like a like some kind of shocking thing. He like puts her to sleep. He like absolutely slams a door into Jack's face like as hard as he can. He pretty much crushes Ace with a bomb, but Ace is like an android, which I don't know if he like has a suit that can detect that or not. But I mean, he was out for blood with Ace's kill. Like, he put him down a laundry chute and literally dropped a grenade down on him. I'm like, god damn, Terry. Like, I really hope you knew that guy was an android. So then it's just the king and 10 left, and the king throws a bomb at Batman, but Batman, like, he gets out of the way in time. And then the king's he's like fighting Terry in the sky, and it's really smart. He uses the sword to clip one of his wings, but Terry, he uses a grappling hook to get onto the king's card glider. So these two are grappling, and then they both crash, and then 10 comes along, and then Batman's like, come on, just leave, just get away from here. And the security guard shows up and gets the king, and then Batman, he has to save 10 because like she got knocked out of the sky by, I think the security guard like literally just shot point blank at her. So he has to save her, and she's like, please don't turn me in. And keeping in mind, she doesn't know that he's Batman, but he knows that she's 10. But he has to do that, and then everybody's getting arrested and whatnot, and then Terry comes along in civilian clothes and sees Melanie getting taken away, and Bruce shows up, and Terry's like, listen, what I said was completely out of line, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry. And then Bruce, he cracks a smile because he's like, he's thinking to himself, damn, this guy didn't fall in love with the girl, he fell in love with the girl villain, and I've been down that road before. So he's like, Terry, let me tell you a story about Selena Kyle. And I'm like, okay, Batman. So it's a fairly sweet moment. But yeah, rating wise for this episode, it's just tragic because like you have somebody that like I think way better of a girlfriend than freaking Dana. Like, ugh, Dana's just she's I don't know. She's just there. She is just an NPC. But then you have like Melanie, who's just this really sweet girl, and like she has this emotional trauma. Like, I hate to say that they're trauma bonded, but they kind of trauma flirting, I guess. But yeah, good action, a nice good It is funny though how the King wanted revenge on Batman because he broke up the gang years ago, and I'm just like, bro, you're not even going after the right Batman. You're going after a Batman, not the one that put you away. But it's whatever. But still a fun episode. So I think 4 to 1 is out. I'm also crossing off 7, so I'm between 5 and 6, and I don't really have too much again. It is also funny though. At one point, Terry tells Bruce that him and Dana broke up, and he's like, "You'll be back next week. It's fine." Which I'm like, "All right, you've been around the block, Bruce." But yeah, good stuff. Action was pretty good. I like the Royal Flush Gang. I guess I'll give this a 6 out of 7. I mean, pretty solid stuff. I don't really have too much complaints about it. So yeah, that was a Dead Man's Hand. Bye bye.